Hi, parents of Sagittarian children. Here is your tarot treat for the week of April 10th through the 16th. Had a brain fart. So it's like, what date? What month? What are we doing? Okay, so let's just see what's happening for your Sag child. If you are looking for a more personal tarot experience, in the description on the full page or the full video will give you some insight on how to contact me. They have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Not a bad thing. So two things that come to mind. I feel like there is some maturation, and I also feel like it's something from their past is returning. There is a lesson to learn. It's like there's maturity. So there is probably within the Mercury retrograde season, there's a return of a lesson or a possible revisit from the past, a test, but your child is going to pass it because all through this time there has been they've been learning. And so this is kind of like a graduation. Is there anything else? I feel like something going away, like when it comes to I mean, it's the same thing, but my initial feeling is something that no longer serves them is going away. But they've graduated. Let me say it like this. So something that no longer serves them is going away permanently. And the reason why it can do that is because they have matured to a place where this is no longer going to be like an issue that bothers them. So for some of them, it could be bedwetting, it could be nightmares, it could be some kind of thing that they're overcoming. They're growing out of something. And so because that issue, that fear no longer serves them, they've outgrown it, then it's going to dissipate. So what makes sense is, you know, if something is being revisited from their past, a particular situation that normally would have triggered a reaction, a bedwet, you know, some kind of response, because they've outgrown it, it's going to be like, boy, bye Felicia, you know, one of those things. It's maturity. I just felt the need to say that, all of that, for you to kind of get context as far as how this week is going to go for them. King of Cups, master of their emotions. Page of Wands in reverse. Also with the Eight of Swords. So I feel like there's something in the process of them maturing. I feel like they are holding back. What normally would have, you know, this is the page. The page is like kind of immature. So normally they would have just like had a reaction, but because it's in reverse, I see them like holding back. With the Eight of Swords in the upright, I feel like they are taking their time. I don't see them as being confused and not knowing which direction to go. I feel like there could be a sense of like people feel like they should be overwhelmed, but because they are taking their time, they're going to be able to figure this out, the plan of action that they need to go to overcome this situation and move forward. So I don't, again, King of Cups, master of their emotions. They're mature. So it's a good week. It's a really good week for Sagittarian kids. So pat yourself on the back, pat them on the back, because they've done the work. They deserve that. So let's go on. I always feel the need. Superstitious stuff. To clear the cards of whatever. So Aries parents, you are the Page of Cups with your Sagittarian child. I see you supporting. I see you having conversations, like asking, inquiring questions to kind of nudge them, or, you know, solidify their maturity, or check how mature they are. But I see you in agreement with this growth and supporting them in that way. Taurus parents of Sagittarian children, you could be watching from afar. There's certain things in your personal life that you're just kind of like taking a step back on and holding back your energy altogether. But while you're dealing with your things, I see you observing your Sagittarian child and their growth. If it calls for it, if it need be, then you will open your mouth and say something or share something. But you know, this is the card for Virgo, so you could have Virgo placements in your chart, but also I just see you like holding back. There's a lot that you could say, but you're just going to refrain, and that's good and fair and fine. Gemini parents of Sagittarian children, you have Judgment in reverse. I don't really see you saying anything. I think you're going to let this play out, because you feel like whatever this is, your Sagittarian child can handle it. So I don't see you really putting your foot down or telling them how to do things, which is good for them. They need this. You are in support of their growth as well. Cancer parents of Sagittarian children, you have the Two of Wands in reverse. It's like you are co-signing on this. I think you don't have to wait. Like, you're not in a place where you're like, oh, dreaming. The world isn't, you already have a set plan. You already know what the plan is, the plan of action. You're very clear on what the action steps are. And again, it's for your child. It could be for you, but I'm really feeling like you already know what the game plan is moving forward on how to best support your child with this maturity. And you've been waiting for them to get to this point. Like, before, you were like, here, like, oh, all the things that we could do, you know, when they just figure out and they get this together, when they've graduated or they've moved on from this situation and they've matured, oh, the things we can do now, like, oh, they can walk, or, oh, they can, you know, use the bathroom by themselves. They don't need diapers or pull-ups or anymore. All the things that we can do. So you've been waiting. You've been in this waiting energy with them. And now that they've graduated and passed this, you're like, shoot, let's go. You know, very clear plan. That's what I'm getting for you. Leo parents of Sagittarian children, you have the Two of Cups. You're in celebration of this maturity. I see so much love and abundance that you're pouring on them. So much celebratory energy. You are in support of this accomplishment, and that's all I see. I see you giving, you know, your praise to them because of it. You know, for some of you, it could be some romance thing, you know, bound chicka wow wow on the side that you and your significant other are doing. Or for some of you who are single, you may encounter somebody that you may meet somebody that sparks your interest. Not that anything serious may or may not come from it, but you may encounter somebody this week that you're like, ooh, I don't know, maybe you see somebody on Instagram or Facebook or at Starbucks, whatever. And you may spark up a conversation. You may not exchange numbers, but you may flirt with somebody, something small. So that's for you people who are single, you parents. Moving on to Virgo. Just make sure. Yep, Virgo parents of Sagittarian children, you have the Seven of Pentacles. It's done. The work is done. Like, you've been growing this thing. It's solid. Like, it's ready. You're picking. So, like, you're like the Cancer parents. Like, all right, it's done. I've had this plan and I hear some of y'all like, yup, I already had this plan when they got this done, or when they succeeded with this. We already had this mapped out about what we were going to do and what were going to happen. I was just waiting for them to get there so that we could execute this plan and let's go. So the waiting is over. I don't see, yeah, you're done. You're just next phase. Thank you. That's what you're doing. You're like, all right, what's next? We're done. Libra parents of Sagittarian children, you have the 10 of Wands. Is there something that you now have to bear because they did this? I don't know if some of you are in a co-parent situation. Maybe your child has been breastfed, and now that they're done being breastfed, it's more responsibility for you, or because it's something for a co-parent situation. I feel like it's a parent that didn't have, and specifically the dad, but it was a responsibility that you did not have to bear. And now that the child has graduated from this thing, now you are ill prepared, you feel, because you haven't had interaction with dealing with that thing, whatever it is. And now you got a huge learning curve and you got to catch up. That's for specifically who that speaks to. But for some reason, this newfound abundance of growth and freedom and liberation and maturity places a burden on you of responsibility for the Sagittarian child, and only you know what that is. Maybe they're spending more time with you and you gotta, not that that's a bad thing, but now your schedule has to shift to accommodate that. But some week for some reason, there's some kind of burden that's placed on you because of their newfound independence. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's new. It's a learning curve for you. Something that you didn't have to contend with before them, being able to do this. Maybe they're weaning, or it's just some kind of development thing. But if it's for you, you know what it is. Scorpio parents of, I don't know why you got your own card. Okay. Scorpio parents of Sagittarian children, something is ending. They don't need you anymore for this particular thing. Not that they don't need you at all. That's not what I mean. But you are almost celebrating the end of something. This maturity places less of a dependency on you. And I know whoever this is for, there's an excitement about it, but you're also grieving it because that means that your child is getting older and they're not going to be that little baby anymore that you cherished and enjoyed having to, snuggle with their babiness. So I don't know who this is for, but it's bittersweet. And that's what I'm getting. You're glad, like, yay! They got the sun back here, the flower down there. You're celebrating this new growth, but you're also sad because it means changes for you and your placement in their life. Sagittarian parents of Sagittarian kids. Again, I don't know what it is with this Wheel of Fortune, but a cycle has been completed. You're happy, you're glad, you put the work in. You're like, we're good. So maybe you have Capricorn, because Sagittarian parents of Capricorn children had this same card. So maybe your Sagittarian child has Capricorn placements in their chart. And whatever it is, you're just glad that it's over. The cycle has been complete. Or you have a Sagittarian and a Capricorn child, and somehow they both were going on some kind of variation of the same thing. And you're like, yes, I'm glad this is over. I'm done. Capricorn parents of Sagittarian children, you have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So your work is done. Why is everybody so glad to be done with this? Like, what did Sagittarian children do? Yeah. I am a Sagittarian child of someone. And I can see, I'm just waiting for, I just, let me see what the cards say. And I don't know, but I just feel like, to make a long story short, a lot of parents are glad that their children have elevated to something. They don't have to deal with it. And that's what Capricorn parents are like. They're like, I'm glad this is over, I'm glad that I don't have to help you anymore. You got your ducks in a row. Kudos, you're good. Life is grand. We're done. Aquarian parents of Sagittarian children, you have the sun. This is blissful, happy energy. You are celebrating your child's success. You guys did this together. You supported them through this. There's just a lot of happiness involved with this. So a lot of joy, a lot of abundance. And last but not least, we have the Pisces parents of, Pisces parents of Sagittarian children. The sky is the limit. You know, you got all this free time now. You are liberated. You can focus back on you now. Whatever it was, you don't have to worry about whatever, because your Sagittarian child, they've graduated. They've got this thing taken care of. They have matured and overcome something. So that's the reading that I have for parents of Sagittarian children. Thank you guys so much for watching. And now I'm getting this backlight from the sun. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk with you soon. Take care.